Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. I am here working on the paper bag journals, and I promised one of my subbies I would come back and show you my closure. I'm going to try to show you and do it on video here. Except for the sewing, I'll pause. So what I'm doing, I decided to use some fabric. I was looking for a tie closure, and it's, you know, how I was going to do it, and I decided to do it like this. So I haven't sewn signatures in so I can still do things to the cover. So I'm putting this to the side for now, the pages. So here's one of the paper bag covers, and I've cut 2 strips of fabric here, and I feel like these match nicely with the greens here in the cover. So I'm using this green and white gingham fabric, and first of all, I'm just gluing it on, but I do have a piece for the closure too. So this is going to be like on the binding or on the spine, and this is going to be a longer piece that I sewed 2 pieces together right here in the middle. I zigzag stitched a little square there to sew 2 pieces together really strongly. And so, like I said, first of all, I already did one, so this is how I did it. I placed this down how I want it, and the little piece where I stitch it together, I put that toward the back. I've got all my binding stuff here too, because I'm binding and I'm doing the spines and getting them all together here. But I put that toward the back so I don't have a big lump underneath the middle of my spine. Okay, so it's going to be something like this. Okay, I kind of got to make sure where I want it, but I can move it around even after I glue it. Until I sew it down, I can move it around until I glue it and the glue starts drying. So something like that. Okay, and then this is going to wrap around. Okay, and I like this black frame around here, around this picture on the front cover, so I don't want to cover that up. So I'm just going to put this, let's see which side I want toward the picture. And the other one I have the white and green side. See, this is green and green, and this is a white and green. So I have it like that. So what I'm doing is I have this strip. I'm going to glue it down. I have a little bit up over the edge because that's going to be wrapped around the back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put some glue down here. Like I said, let me take my pin out. I don't want to cover up the black, so I'm just going to put a line of glue right here beside the black frame, right over in fact, I'll put a little bit under here too to glue this down. I'm just gluing it down, and then I'm going to go sew it. I just want it to stay in place while I'm sewing. Okay, so that. Now a little bit more on the other side of the spine so that I can have this held in place firmly while I'm sewing. Okay, so here's my piece. I'm going to place it up about 1 inch above the top, right beside my black frame on the front cover. Okay, so just place it down on your glue. I'm pressing it down. I'm going to make sure my little tie here is straight. Okay, I'm going to turn it over. And then I'm going to glue this side. Okay. So again, here's the middle of my signature, or the cover, where the spine, actual kind of like spine is. I'm putting some glue right there in the middle. I'm just going to put some glue right up to this library pocket right here. So kind of like down to the bottom, put some on the top, and then right next to the library pocket. Okay. So first I'm going to fold down my top piece. Okay. Then I'm going to bring this up, and actually I'm not going to glue it down until I figure out where I want it. you know, exactly at the top, because I need to cut some of this off. So I think I'm going to cut it just above this line right here. There's like a line in between the checks there. I'm going to cut it just above that, and that should be right at the top of the book or the journal. Well, I lost my mark. Okay, right about here. Straight across. Okay. So now I'm placing down my fabric. I need a little bit more on top of this fabric here that we folded over, a little bit more glue. I'm gluing fabric onto fabric here, even though this is going to be sewn, but I want it all to be in place. I'm going to cut this little string off. Okay. And this really strengthens, as you can probably imagine, strengthens your paper bag. Okay, so you've got like an awesome strong paper, you know, bag spine now that you've put fabric on it. So I'm going to go sew this. I'm just going to fold it a little bit too right now. Make sure everything's where I want it to, you know, where I want it to be in the end here. Do I need any more glue? Looks like everything's in the right place. This is the back. Okay. So it'll be like this. Everything's straight. So I'm going to see if I can pause. If for some reason I get cut off, I'm going to go sew this. If I get cut off, I will just come back in a separate video and show you the results, okay? But I'm going to go sew and then I'll be right back, hopefully. Hey guys, I'm back. I have sewn on the fabric that I just showed you. So I just sewed around and with a zigzag stitch. I actually sewed on the front because I wanted to make sure the front was right, even more right than the inside, but everything's sewn down. And I just zigzag stitched around and went over here and then went up and went over there. So you can see it's all in place now. So I'm ready to sew in my signature. And I'm just doing a little 3 pamphlet stitch, easy 3 pamphlet stitch in these journals. And so now I'm ready to, let me just fold this, make sure it can fold now. So that glue is actually still drying under there, but it should be all right. So, you know, it dries pretty fast, but I could feel it might not be totally dry. Anyway, here's the pages. And so I'm going to sew these in. I'm going to see if I can go ahead and do it right now. So I want to make sure they're in order, right side up, all that kind of stuff. Placement where I want them, you know, up, down, middle type of thing. And I already did this, but I'm just kind of double checking everything stayed where I put it. So I'm just going to go through really quick. You know, flip through here. Some I put up, some I put down, some I put in the middle. Since there's all different size pages in here, it's kind of fun to have them in different spots. Okay, so that looks good. Everything looks good. Kind of even it out. Okay. I'm going to put it in my journal. Make sure of the placement in the journal. Right in the middle, kind of from the top and the bottom. Check one more time, everything looks like it's in. I did have to trim the pages. I just trimmed, not all of them, but went through and trimmed anything that was sticking out this way, anything that was sticking out of the top. So I've got 2 clips here that I will clip on. I'm just clipping these on the side and onto the cover, you know, all the pages in the cover together. And then I kind of just push it down into the fold, you know what I mean? Push it down into the fold. And since this is just one signature journal, this is how I'm doing it. This is not how I do all my journals. If it's a, you know, 4 3 or 4 signature book, of course you have to do it differently. But this is just a simple little one signature. So I'm going to just poke, got my little pokey tool or my awl here. I want to poke my first hole kind of, I want it to be kind of in the middle of this, but it doesn't have to be right in the middle. I want it to be in the middle of the signature, but not like below this or above this tie closure. So the middle is about right here, and that'll come out right toward the bottom of my tie signature. I just want to make sure I'm in the middle inside and coming out the middle of the outside. Okay, I don't want to come out you know, to the side or something. I want to come out right in the middle, right on the spine. So it'll come through here in a second. There it comes. You see it there? So I got one hole through, kind of twisting it because this needle is really thin, but I can see through it, so I know my needle will go through there. Okay, then another one at the top, not too close to the top, but not too far. So about probably 3/4 of an inch down from the top of the journal or the cover. Again, I want to make sure it's coming out the middle. It is right in the center of the spine. I want everything to be straight. Twisting again. That's just this particular awl, what I do with that. Sometimes it makes just such a small hole you can't even see it. So I'm just trying to make sure I can see it and get my needle through there. Again, on the bottom, I kind of see how I have a pocket here. The one we made with the little triangle. I kind of go up right here, up above where the pocket, I don't want to go in the pocket here. And that's too low anyway, so it's about on the bottom of this particular journal, it's going to end up being about an inch from the bottom. Okay, I just think that's a good spot for it. So you kind of have to go by what you think, you know, is a good spot in your journal. So now again, let's make sure we get it right in the middle. And it is coming out right in the middle. And we're good on that. Twisting again. Okay, so I've got some white thread here. It's wax cording. I've got just enough left for this journal, I think. Just about gone, as you can see. This was, you know, I like white. It's a good color, and especially if you're dealing with something white on the spine, you know, it looks really nice. Okay, and I just had my needle here. Where'd it go? See my pokey tool. Needle. Needle, needle, needle. Where'd you go? Okay. Let's see. That is weird. I have another one in my drawer, but I just had it here ready to go. And now it has disappeared. Okay, well, if you're going to be like that, let me grab the other one. I have it right here. I'll find that one tomorrow. But here's my pack of needles. I have another one the same size that I usually use in here. So we'll just use this one. The other one wants to be difficult. And thread it through. This one has a pretty good eye on it, so that's why I picked these out. They're really thin, and it has a good eye, so this wax cording fits right through there. These are doll needles, D-O-L-L, doll, like in doll baby. And these are the best needles that I've found since I've been making junk journals over, you know, like 4 years now. So these are my favorite. Got my little pliers here so I can hopefully easily pull this through. This helps it so you don't kill your fingers. Okay, and then, you know, you're going to pull it through. I'm sure you've seen this before, but just in case, you need a reminder. Leave a string or a tail here. Not too long, but long enough so it's not going to pull through. Then we're going to go back through the top. and poke through our hole. Again, if we need our pliers, just grab those, pull it through. Okay, pull it tight. So let's see, we've got our thing, we've got a little tie getting tangled up here. Let's untangle ourselves. Okay, now we can pull this through tight. Okay, I kind of pull, even though we're not ready to tie anything off, I just try to keep everything tight the whole time. So I kind of like pull on both of these and make those nice and tight. Now, and that helps to get this next stitch in the proper place. Make sure nothing's coming loose here. So you got this tight. I pull this string up that we put through the middle and our tail. Pull it up so that you don't, poke through it when you're going back down through. But right now we're going to poke down through that middle hole again, kind of below, so you're not, like I said, poking through your wax cord. Okay, and then pulling out again. Okay, now again we're going to pull everything tight. Make sure our two strings here, just pull on the inside, pull on the outside, and you'll see everything. You can feel this nice and tight. Look at the inside or feel it if you want. Nice and tight. Don't pull on it though. You don't want to pull it loose. And then we're going to go back up through the bottom here. Keep everything together. And I don't want this, yeah, that's long enough. Okay, keep everything together. Find our hole. If it doesn't go right through, let's see if it's going to go. No, okay, it's not going to go right through. And you don't want to poke it through the wrong place or off to the side or anything. So I'm just going to poke this hole again so I can see exactly where it is. See, there it is. I'm going to poke through again. I just want to make sure of where it is. See, now it's more clear down here out on the outside. Okay, now it's going right through. That I did that. Before it looked like it was going to go off to the side or something, like maybe I wasn't pushing it through straight. Okay, so pulling it up. Now everything, again, check everything, make sure it's tight. Pull on your middle string, pull on your bottom string. You can kind of feel it too. Everything's tight. Okay, I'm going to take this needle and go through your top string right here. Just go through there. See how you have a little, they meet. Now they meet in the middle. You've made a figure 8 at this point. Okay, so at this point you can take off your needle, get it out of the way, and keep your figure 8 and your strings going in the opposite direction. Kind of pull, make sure everything's tight. Make sure you didn't go through anywhere you're not supposed to be. I just want to make sure everything's tight here. I'm going to hold these two and check the outside. See, everything's nice and tight here. Okay, everything's tight. It looks tight on the inside. You don't want to pull it so tight that you rip your holes, but you want to pull it tight so your signature is in there securely. And then as you're pulling tight, keep it tight. Keep everything tight. And just make your knot. Now if something happens and it's not tight, I've got one knot in there. You can get your little awl and kind of loosen that up and get it back out and do it again. Mine does look like it's tight. Everything looks tight. So I'm going to go ahead and tie a second knot. And you can even tie 3 knots if you think you need it. And there you go. Signature is in. So now I'm going to make some ephemera for this guy, for these 3 guys, these 3 little paper bag journals, and see what I want to add to the pockets and things. But super cute, and here's how it's going to look with the tie closure that I've got on here. And so I will come back to you with ephemera, decide what I'm going to do with that. I want to make some small stuff because it's a small journal. But I was going to explain that I did the closure like this because I wanted it strong, like it can pull here and it won't hurt anything. And the only other choice really was to put a wraparound tie closure that would just come off, you know, just one of those, which would be fine. If you wanted to do that, that would be fine. But I wanted to try. I don't think I've really done it exactly like this before. So I wanted to try it, but also I didn't want to try to put anything over here, like attach it here or something to this side of the paper bag, because, well, you have a pocket here, and even if you put it on the front part inside the pocket, I would be afraid it would tear here, like it would be attached to this cardstock, and I would be afraid that it would tear through if I put something here. The same with these. They're paper bag over here. It's paper, you know, so I didn't feel like it was strong enough to support something being put in there. So that's why I put it on the spine. Just, you know, my thoughts on that, just to make sure everything is strong and not gonna, you know, rip or tear, because it is, you know, it is a paper bag. So that's it for right now. Hope you enjoyed the process so far. I'll be back with the ephemera, and then we'll be pretty much done. And I'll see you next time. So thank you for watching, and happy crafting.